Sofi, and I'm currently at Kecara Forest Retreat, Bentong, Malaysia. And yesterday I shared briefly about karma, and today I'll be sharing on what is merits. Yesterday I shared that karma means that every action, speech or thoughts, good or bad, will result in corresponding reactions. Good action brings good effect. Bad actions bring bad effect. This effect could be felt or experienced immediately or in the future or the future lives. Example, a man robs someone and then the next moment that he is caught in the action and jail sentence for him. So it's like an immediate effect of the bad karma. Or maybe you see a beggar and you gave him a few dollars, then maybe in a few years time you could be the lucky winner of the lottery, and that is the effect of good karma, but in future. So in other words, what you experience now is the result of your past actions, and what you do now will be the seeds of experience for your future, or maybe in your future life. So karma is experienced by everyone, irregardless, of religion, and it causes us to be trapped within our existence of sufferings. So now for merits. Merits, according as taught by my guru, His Eminence the 25th Samtuku Rinpoche, is a type of positive potential or energy we create in altruistic actions, which supports and propels us forward in our spiritual path. Meaning, merits is achieved through our actions generated based on altruistic intent to benefit others. If we are able to continually generate actions in the state of wishing to benefit others, we'll be on the right path to heading towards the ultimate goal of gaining compassion, bodhicitta, which is a quality of enlightenment. Often people would interuse the word karma, good karma, and merits. Before this, I would use too. So there is a difference between the two. Karma is generated by good actions. That is good karma. It's generated by good actions. Just as merit is also. The difference is that merits is generated from good actions with a very strong motivation, or intent to benefit someone else. Whereas good karma is generated based on our selfishness to benefit ourselves. So for example, let's say if you're feeding the needy, merits, you'll be generated if you did it with a pure motive to benefit the other person, that he will not be hungry. Whereas with good karma, you're doing it maybe to look good, or maybe you're doing it because your partner says that go feed, to be generous and feed someone, and as such you're doing it just to please your partner. So that one so that you don't get your partner doesn't get upset with you, so it's kind of it's for your own motive, for your own benefit, and that one you just generate good karma. So with our actions, speech and thoughts, which are carried out with strong motivation to benefit others, if we continually do that, we will eventually achieve or gain the highest state of spirituality, which is great compassion, bodhicitta, and wisdom, the state of enlightenment. The second difference is karma, once it's experienced, it will be exhausted or used up. Whereas for merits, it will continue generating and never be exhausted. And every time that we generate or engage in good actions, with a strong motivation to benefit others, we will just continue gaining the merits. Rinpoche has given the example that merit is just like a natural spring, where you take water from it continuously and you'll never run out of water. Whereas karma is like a big pot of water, and if you continue taking out from it, the level will go down and down until it empties out. That's the difference there. So don't rely on good karma. Another example will be like, karma will be like just like the checking account with no interest. So every time you take up, it will just be less, and reduce. Whereas, merits is like the fixed deposit, where it will keep giving you interest, and you can just live off the interest, that it generates. So knowing the two distinctive points, we now know that we should generate merits for permanent good things to arise. And how do we gain merits? The easiest way to gain merits is to learn and practice the Dharma. Our Guru had compassionately taught us the path according to Buddha's enlightened teachings, and we just need to actually just put them into practice. It is to have that kindness in our actions, towards others, based on realization that they are the same as us, wishing for happiness and to be out of suffering. So here in Kachara Forest Retreat, our Guru has created, the optimum conditions for us to gain merits that we really do need for our spiritual path. Rinpoche had created such a holy place with so many Buddha statues, and the Vrajayogini Stupa, and now even we have a medicine Buddha holy water, that many has taken and had felt the effect, of that miracle. Some who had gastric problems, were now do not suffer that anymore, and some of them who had some minor growth, it has disappeared. So there are some experiences that people have felt, shared with us. And all the statues, they have been consecrated with holy items and blessed by very high lamas, and even Lord Dorje Shukden himself. And pilgrims, can engage in activities, such as circumambulation, prostrations, volunteering in Dharma work, cleaning the temple or the temple grounds, doing prayers, all sorts of things. All this, where we engage in this activity, we can generate merits. Why? Because we are tapping into, because when we are doing this, we are connecting with the Buddha, and this is a place of where the Buddha resides. We invite them, and so as such, we are tapping into the 3 aeons of Buddha's practice of virtue, compassion, and wisdom. So we can gain merit from that, and at the same time, we are also in that state where we wish to gain, through our practice, the enlightened qualities of Buddha. So it's a twofold thing. And why is it easier to generate merits here? Because when you come here, ultimately, we just want to gain that way out of suffering. And within this community, everybody shares the same. It's the same aim, the same goal towards, gaining the way out of suffering, towards enlightenment. So as such, there is a support, and and our Guru has created the conditions, for us to practice, and you don't have to think of anything else except, to contribute towards Dharma and to share it with others. And that is the main focus of it. So it's like a practice of kindness within the community. and there's no like competition, no stress, nothing like that. So that is why it's easier for you to generate the merits, because we're always basically practicing to benefit others. So in the constant practice of thinking of others, we are reducing our selfishness. So as such, we're putting the teachings that we receive consciously into practice until the day it becomes spontaneous, automatic, and then in time it may become, you may gain bodhicitta, compassion, that which is a quality of the Buddha. So always set strong motivation to benefit others, and in time you realize that your wants or your needs is not so important after all, not as important as you make it out to be. So find a Dharma center that you are able to practice in that state of practicing kindness and caring for others, to focus on others rather than focusing on yourself. And don't self-defeat yourself, that you are always telling yourself, this is not the right time, wait for the right time. There will never be a right time. So take a step forward and start your practice today. We need a lot of merits to overcome our negative karma, which is always constantly being created and multiplying, as I shared yesterday. So take the first step and go ahead, practice. So with that, later I will share a link for Rinpoche's teachings where you'll be able to learn more and in detail. So this is what I'm sharing for today, and if you have any questions, I'll answer them. Okay, there's a question from Pastor Adeline. There's a person who is working, volunteering in a meritorious place such as Kachara Forest Retreat, thinking constantly to go to the city, collects merits for being here. Well, it depends on what you're going to the city for. And of course, in the city, then it will be constant assault of things that may create karma. So I don't think it makes a difference, whether it's it doesn't make a difference, it's just that maybe you'll be sorry, I can't answer that. So maybe I'll give you a fuller detail at a later time in the comment section. So from Valentina, if you do not have the realization that others are the same as us, can we still create merit? Yes, you can, because it's basically based on your motivation to benefit others. So but it's better that if you have that realization, because then you'll be enforcing it more, then you feel it more, it's more personal, then your motivation will be stronger. And from Pastor Adeline, can someone generate merits in a meritorious place where all activities are to benefit others with no change in their bad attitude and behavior? If there's no change in bad attitude and behavior, then how do you generate merit? Because bad attitude and behavior is not generating merit, it's actually generating karma. So, but the thing is, if being in a meritorious place, hopefully, you'll be more aware, you'll learn more, and your fellow Dharma brothers and sisters will point out, and help you along the path. So that in that sense, it will be good. It's better that to be here than to be outside, where, you'll be bombarded with more karma generating activities. So in that sense, it's also dependent on the motive, when you do your actions. So it can't be that all the time you're in bad attitude or behavior. Okay, from Chris Chong. Is it true that merits can be destroyed by anger? Yes, it can. But for that question, I will need to look up the answer and answer you better. From Pastor Adeline. When someone is stubborn and insists their way of harming others, will they collect merits for being in a place that does work to benefit others? Okay, this one, from their actions, they don't get merits. But if they are in a holy place, they do get some merits, because by the holiness of, the Buddha themselves, that their 3 aeons of enlightenment, from there you do get some source of merits too, if you are doing the activities. But then again, you do have to have that good motivation that you wish to benefit others. So for this question, it will be better that I were to get the answer and reply you in full. For Pastor Shin, you mentioned that merits is a type of positive potential or energy we create in altruistic actions. So anyone who does altruistic action like donating to the poor and giving food to the homeless. Hold on, let's see more. Okay. They are collecting merits, right? That is, if they are doing it based on altruistic with altruistic motivation. So it would be yes. It's a selfless. If it's a selfless, action, then yes, it is. With Yin Teo, how to explain to non-Buddhists that karma is universal, it applies to everyone? Well, every day we are living our karma. So in that sense, it doesn't have to be a religion. When something happens to you, that is a result of karma. And I guess when you look at the disparity of the population or the living condition, why is it that some people are very rich, some people are very poor, and some are born with, born incapacitated? So, or some people will die old, some people die young. These kind of things are basically the results of our karma. We are living it. So in that sense, it applies to everyone. And from Pastor Adeline, suggestion to include a link of the post where you have learned this sharing from below your title. Yes, I will do that. Thank you for your suggestion. And from Yin Teo, she posted, what is altruistic intent? Altruistic intent means that good motivation to benefit others. The selfless intent that you do not expect something back, when you're doing something good for others. So it's just truly to benefit others. What do you mean by not relying on good karma? From Yi Yin Teo. It's a question from Pastor Adeline. Well, good karma is good in the sense that you will get the effect of good, you experience the good effect. But the thing is, once you experience it, it's exhausted, it's gone. Whereas if you were to rely on merits, then it's continuous. You know, it will be there forever, and it will be collected through the many lifetimes that we live through. So in that way, you know, it's better to rely on merit. So it's that we should work towards gaining merits, because it's you're working also from your with the good motivation, which is working from, you know, the goodness within you, the kindness. Okay, from Pastor Adeline. Following the answer to my first question to you, we only create karma only by being in the city? No, we don't. Even if you are in a holy place in Kachara Forest Retreat, if you are doing things that is not based on good motivation or intent to benefit others, you are just collecting karma. It could be either, you know, positive or negative. And since you have received the Dharma, you know, knowing your actions and the results of it, it may even generate greater karma. So we should always be mindful and always, you know, think of how we affect others. Okay, and from Yi Yin Teo, who reposted Pastor Adeline's question, please reiterate the difference between good karma and merits. Good karma is actions with intent to benefit the self, and merits is actions that to benefit other people. And so from that, you gain either good karma or you gain good merits. Like, you know, like my example, you know, where you're feeding the poor. If you're feeding the poor based on maybe you want to look good, or, you know, like somebody pushes you and it's convenient, so then that one you just generate good karma, because you did do a good deed, but without the intention, you know. So whereas merits, you're feeding based on you sincerely wish to help, you know, without, you know, just freely, you know, it's a true kindness that you wish to help someone else, and that is how you generate the merit. And I don't know, when I was doing this note, so I was, you know, just a thought pop up to my mind. It's like good karma is basically doing something good, you know, based on your convenience. Okay, from Yi Yin Teo, repost from by question from Valentina. Oh, this I've actually, is it? So if we do not have the realization that others, oh, this I've already answered just now. So I think there's no more questions here. Then as such, I will end it here. And if I did miss out, don't worry. Even those that I've answered, I would answer them, you know, at a later date. So if I was wrong in my answers, I would post it will be the correct answer, you know, when I post it there. But the best thing is, I'll be including the link to my guru's teachings, and it's best that you visit there to get the right teachings. And remember, do things with good motivation. Generate the good merits that you need, you know. Okay, so I'll end it here with a dedication prayer. Jang yu sen cho rinpoche, ma ke pa nam ke yu shi, ke pa nam pa me pa yang, go ni go nu pe wa shu, to ni to wa rinpoche, ma ke pa nam ke yu shi, ke pa nam pa me pa yang, go ni go nu pe wa shu, da so ji ni sa pa ge wa di, dan dan dro wa gu na ga pa dang, je pa je sun lo san tra pa yi, tam ping in for rin du sa se shu, ke wa kun tu yan da la ma dan, dra mi chu ki pa la no chong che. Ta da lang yi ya te ra so ne, do je shang yi nga pa nga tu su, ge wa di yu du da la ma sang yu dru ne, dru wa ji kya ma lu pa, de yi sa la gu pa shu, cho ki kya po sung ka pa, cho sun na pa pe wa la, ge ki sa ma si wa dang, tung ki ma lu sa wa shu, da dang sung yi du sun dan, dre wa sung yi la te ne, ge wa lo san tra pa yi, tam pa yu re va yu shi, ni mo de le sen de le, ni mi gu nyan de le shi, ni sen ta tu de le pel, kun chu sung yi jing gi lo, kun chu sung yi ngo chu so, kun chu sung yi tra si shu, je sun la ma ku sen rap ting shi, nhằm cả tri ni cho chu ke ba dang lo sam tem pe dro mi sap sung yi dro e mu sa ta to ni yu shi ka hoi ra hoi ko we shin kam den pen dan de wa ma lu gyo we ne chen ren zi wan ten sing get so yi sha pe shi de ba du den yu shi Om tom pe ngo dro ma lu pa den den da la sao du so ko dan den pa long chot nam ke pa so shi shuk den sao. Thank you. See you tomorrow.